Hari Om. Today we are dealing with mantra number 8 of section 1 of chapter 2 of Mundakopanishad. I would first chant the mantra Sapta Prana Prabhavati Tasmad Sapta Archisha Samidha Sapta Homa Sapta Ime Loka Yeshu Charanti Prana Guhashaya Nihida Sapta Sapta. This is the 8th mantra. Now, yesterday, while concluding the talk, I promised you that I would place before you a small poem which I studied in the school. I traced it out with the help of my daughter, and I would like to fulfill my promise by rendering the same right now. The poem reads like this: all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the good God made them all. Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, He made their glowing colors, He made their little wings. The purple-headed mountain, the river running by, the sunset and the morning that brightens up the sky, the cold wind in the winter, the pleasant summer sun, the ripe fruits in the garden, He made them every one. The tall trees in the greenwood, the meadows where we play, the rushes by the water we gather every day. This is what we have learned in the desk work. You see how relevant it is for these Mundaka stanzas. Now let us focus on today's mantra 8. The literal translation of mantra 8, literal translation, will read like this. From the Purusha are born the 7 pranas, the 7 flames, the 7 fuel, the 7 oblations that we offer, as well as the 7 worlds where the pranas move in the cave of living creatures, 7 and 7. Strictly interpreted, it is utter nonsense between you and me. But metaphorically understood, it is a marvelous piece of highly imaginative and lucid poetry. We should never ever forget that these Upanishads in their original edition, that is a pre-Palmyra edition, Palmyra leaf edition, were existing in the tip of the tongue of a few fortunate disciples who attended the Gurukula classes of the Master Rishi. The words of the Guru were first printed directly in the memory slab of the Brahmana, and when he became a Guru himself, conveyed the same mantras orally to his Brahmana, so on and so forth, ad infinitum. It is a divine power in Vyasa who could, by his brilliant imagination, codified not only the Upanishads but the entire Vedas and blessed us with its present form, with E and OE, note, errors and omissions expected. Vyasa, therefore, had confronted a double jeopardy in the sense that the original diction and language itself is highly imaginative, symbolic, and poetic. And secondly, even such utterances were available in bits and pieces as though from the classroom notes of the students on these lectures given by the rishis. Under these trying circumstances and situations and the background, we have our own limitations in grasping the essence of these talks. Only a master like Shankara could have seen the true content of the mantras, and hence I said earlier, Shankara Bhashyam is a sine qua non for proper and adequate understanding of the contents of these mantras in its true entirety. Now, the Sapta Pranas, the 7 sense holes indicated in the mantra, have emerged from Purusha, are the sense holes in our head. The 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the 2 nostrils, and the mouth. The 7 flames in the mantra indicated is to mean the respective power of cognition that flickers out, as it were, to illuminate the respective objects of the sense organs. Through the ears, it perceives the sound. Through the eyes, it illumines the objects. Through the nose, it gets the smell. And through the mouth, it gets the taste. Remember, we discussed earlier, each sense organ can illumine or enlighten its own sense object under its jurisdiction. The ears cannot see, the eyes cannot hear, etc., etc. Now, be careful. The 7-fold equipment, the head, perceive their respective sense objects through the cognitive power and vitality inbuilt in them. Where did that energy come from? That vitality came from him alone. Where did the Indriyas come from? Him alone. Where did the objects come from? Him alone. This flame of vitality can be kept alive or burnt only with the requisite fuel. In order that a fire should burn, you must have a fuel. Now, what is the fuel for the power of cognition to conceive? Here, the fuel for the cognitive power are the sense objects themselves. If there is no sound, ears become irrelevant. Isn't it? Think. If there is no form, the eyes become irrelevant. If there is no smell, the nose becomes irrelevant. Therefore, the sense objects are indeed the very fuel for the perception of the rays. Highly couched in poetic and metaphysical language. Your nose will sweat out to understand the true meaning. It takes time. But don't get dejected. Don't get disheartened. You will stumble upon the right meaning as and when you read the text again and again. Imagine a multi-holed pot. Just imagine a multi-holed pot inside which there is a flicker of lamp which throws out the light through each of the holes, and the light thus transmitted through each of these holes, they illumine a specific object on which the light falls. In the same way, the flicker of light in the seven-holed head flows through each hole to illuminate different objects outside corresponding to the sense organs. In Dakshinamurti Stotra of Adi Shankara, we have a beautiful shloka precisely dealing with this specific issue. I think that is the fourth stanza of Dakshinamurti Stotra. Let me recollect that stotra and present it to you. It is a hymn on Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is the master teacher of the master teachers, the greater teacher than the greatest teacher. Shankara pays his salutations to that great Dakshinamurti in 10 to 12 stanzas, which is called the Dakshinamurti Stotra, which is the quintessence of the entire Vedanta. Yes, the fourth stanza in that reads, let me chant that. It is Sanskrit, no doubt, but as I told you, go through it 2 times, then it becomes Malayalam. The shloka is this: Nana chitra khadodarastidamaha Deepa prabhabhaswaram Jnanam yasya tu chakshuradikarana Dvara bahispandate Janami ditameva bandhamanubhat Edat samastam jagat Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Nana means what? Nana. Malayalam, Nana. Multiple. Chidra, holes, broken holes. Ghata, pot. Udara, inside. So, inside the pot, a broken pot, a multiple broken pot. You understood the meaning? Don't tell me it is Sanskrit or Malayalam. Nana chidra ghadodara. In that ghata, inside that ghata, Sthita Mahadiva Prabha Bhaswaram. Sthita is kept, installed, established. Sthita Mahadiva Prabha Bhaswaram. There is an effulgent wick of light installed inside this broken pot. And what happens? Through the potholes, Jnanam yasya tu chakshuradikarana dvara bahispandate. The cognitive knowledge represented by the flickering lamp inside, the illuminator inside, gushes out through these potholes like chakshu, karna, etc. Eyes, ears, nose, all the 7 holes on the head. Janami jitameva bandhamanubhat etat samastam jagat tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. It means that he whose intelligence flashes outside through the eyes and other sense organs, just like the bright light of a great lamp placed in a jar having many holes, and after whose shine this whole universe of objects, emotions and thoughts shine. To him, that divine teacher, the Dakshinamurti, I salute. The stanza, this sloka is very, very relevant to this stanza. Must remember this. Now, further going, the oblations referred to in this mantra would therefore mean the knowledge gained when the cognitive power captures the objects outside. When the flickering lamp inside, represented by the Purusha, the knowledge, the light, all pervading, when it captures the objects through the sense organs, their respective objects through the sense organs, or when the sense organs come in contact with the sense objects, then and then alone there is experience like heat and cold, joy and sorrow. It is only when the sense organs, prompted by the flickering lamp, contacts the sense objects, only then and then alone an experience arises in the man. It may be objects, it may be emotions, it may be thoughts. Bhagavad Gita makes this further clear. In the second stanza, 14th, second chapter, 14th stanza says, Matra sparashastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada. Matra sparashastu kaunteya. Sparsha, contacts. When sense organs come in contact with sense objects alone, arises the experience of Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. The pairs of opposites or the Dvandvas or the experiences that we gain from the world have only and only when the sense organs come in contact with the sense objects. Now that is the oblation that we offer in the sacrificial fire. And that is the experience that we get. The seven world referred here are the nerve centers in our buddhi which controls the sense organs. See, the inner engineering mechanism is absolutely marvelous. How an object, physical objects in the world is perceived by our eyes, ears or whatever, and how that information of having seen the fire or having heard a voice is placed before the mind. The body places this before the mind. The mind takes it as it is, faithfully, to the intellect. Intellect then decides what the sound is. Did I have a past experience of the sound in my life or earlier life? Because intellect is a bundle of earlier existing vasanas. So somewhere down the line, is there an experience of this sort? So that I can classify it under that experience. Yes, I understand that experience. That experience is that of hearing a music. This fellow has heard music elsewhere. And therefore, music. Now when it is a music, then immediately the intellect gives orders to the mind. And the mind conveys that order to the karmendriyas, which prompts you to shake your head enjoying music. All this happens in the flicker of a second. So therefore the seven world referred here is a nerve center in the buddhi which controls the sense organs. All these functions bristle with activity on or during the waking state and the dream state level of man's consciousness. All these hustle and bustle of the sense organs are at rest during the state of deep sleep. Therefore, the vitality present in all these nerve centers retreat, as it were, in the cave of the heart of the individual jiva when you are in a state of consciousness of deep sleep state. This, in a sense, is the periphery meaning of this stanza, of this mantra. But I know paucity of time do not permit me to elaborate. As it is now, we have exceeded the time, and sorry for the encroachment on your time. But this is the best that one could do, and this extension had to be done. So now the 9th and 10th sloka, which is a concluding sloka of this section, section 1 of chapter 2. Section 1 of chapter 2 concludes with the mantra 9 and 10, which we will take up tomorrow and see what we have in store. Till then, Hari Om.